The mission of Stakeholders, Inc. is to cultivate an informed and active creative class in New York State's capital region. We seek to foster regional pride and attract and retain visitors and businesses and residents through our educational, capacity building, and philanthropic programs. Under each of our program areas, we focus on sustainable communities, arts and culture, and civic engagement and volunteerism.
Recently, the Capital District Regional Planning Commission, in partnership with the Center for Economic Growth, the Capital District Transportation Committee, and the University at Albany, completed a study, Future Alternative Growth Patterns here in the capital region. The clear conclusion of the study was the fact that the higher our rate of growth, based on our existing development patterns, it will cost us. There's a tremendous fiscal cost associated with sprawl-like development. The stakeholders group, amongst other groups, is critical that the younger generation get involved because the decisions that are made today are going to be primarily impacting future generations.
Sustainable community is a community that meets its present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet the same needs. The Sustainable Communities Initiative is a new initiative of stakeholders. Its goal is really to educate the next generation, young professionals, about what sustainability is. And I think our goal of Sustainable Communities Institute is a capital region that has really embraced sustainability, that has these young people really working hard to make the capital region, in general, a leader in sustainability in this country.
An important part of sustainability for the future of the capital region, we must invest in a creative economy. We need to support arts, artists, and cultural institutions in order to provide a quality of life here in the capital region.
We realize less how much greater the influence of the arts are on us. We somehow have less of a sense of the fact that a gaming program is designed by a designer with an art sensibility, that every park has been designed by someone, and that flower gardens are planted by someone with a design sensibility, that in fact everything you read and write, be it an ad or journalism or a fine book, it's actually driven by a creative spirit. And so creativity, the notion of being able to be flexible, apply what you know to a given situation rather than know what it is and just do it, has really become more and more important. You have to say, what do I know, and how can I apply it to something that's totally new and succeed at that? Obviously money matters, and money matters to the artist community intensely, but money sort of comes where the seed has been planted that there's respect and desire and ambition for the arts community to survive.
Well, the arts and culture is the cornerstone of any successful city. The Arts Ambassador Institute, it's a new program started by the Stakeholders, Inc. to really get young, up-and-coming people involved in the arts in a really engaging and interesting way. You know, getting them into the venues to see performances, to talk to artistic directors and development officers, and really find out how they can positively contribute to the arts.
Now more than ever, nonprofit organizations are in dire need of board members, volunteers, and donors.
Now, when you look at philanthropy, it's more than just the deciding of giving of money and where the money's going to go. Frequently, what follows philanthropy or precedes it is leadership. So when we look at financial support or philanthropy of the not-for-profits in our region, I think we're also looking at the importance of where's the future leadership going to come for the boards of our hospitals, our social service agencies, our cultural agencies, those institutions that really enrich and sustain a good part of the life in our region. So we look to the next generation, the next generations really, the X and the Ys, to pick up leadership. But you don't do that all at once. You start in small steps which lead to larger steps. So when you say not-for-profits, it covers so many organizations. It covers the hospitals, the nursing homes, the cultural events, the musical, the theater, the museums, and when you add it all up, it's a significant portion of money, of payrolls that are within our region. all of these institutions have made it what it is and make it a good place to live. And we repeatedly find it is a good place to live. And we learn that from the X and the Ys, the stakeholders generation. I mean, they are here because they want to be here because of the quality of life. And when you ask any one of them what the quality of life is, you'll get a bunch of different answers, but I would anticipate that most of them include not-for-profits which need philanthropic support and board governance and leadership.
Well, the stakeholders helps to cultivate the next generation of philanthropists, primarily through one of our early initiatives, which was the Young Philanthropist Institute, the YPI, which is really designed to bring together a cohort of young people each year, usually in the ages of 20 to 40, to give them the skills and knowledge necessary to become philanthropic leaders. When folks are in the Institute, they learn a wide variety of skills, and those include strategic planning, ethical leadership and decision-making, financial planning, financial oversight, and fundraising and grant giving.
The Get On Board program it is our hope will be the go-to place for volunteers seeking community service opportunities and for nonprofit organizations seeking volunteers.
Learn, educate yourself, and develop your community.
Grow your knowledge and skills.
Invest in the sustainable future of the Capital Region.